Hi, I would like to share with you something that I have been doing for about the last 20 years, which is doing headstands. But since I am older, I did not want to put a lot of pressure on my cervicals. So I ordered a headstand platform, which there are many of them out there. The one that I have is this one. It has a movable seat and it's called Age in Reverse, but there's many of them. I'm not doing a commercial. I take this part off and I will use the bottom of the headstand to really warm myself up first. So I hold on to part of the middle section of legs and I come into a downward facing dog. I then just shift my weight forward. I pedal my feet in place. I try a couple of plank poses to check out my arms and to prepare them for taking weight. Then the first thing I do after that is I put my feet so I can kneel in front of the platform. I will turn it just for a second so you can see that it has a hole in the middle. So this is where that piece that I took out was, and now you have a hole. The key thing is that you must start from your knees. You then dip your head down and you bring your neck very, very close to the edge. This is right on the sides of my breasts. My elbows are not out, my elbows are in. And I again push myself up and I'm in a downward facing dog. I try to walk my feet in a little bit closer and I warm up my Achilles and my calves and my toes. Now, the next thing I do, I want to just practice taking my leg up and getting it up high and then bringing it down. So I'll do that a couple of times on each leg. Then I tuck my elbows close to my rib cage and I bend my knees and I try. It may take me several tries, but I want to get my feet balanced, my knees balanced on my arms. Then the next thing I do is I bring my legs straight up and I trust that my arms can hold me. My arms are close to my ribs and I hold it up here. I can try a few things like pointing and flexing my feet. I can also try bending one knee, bring it up, bending one knee. But for right now, I'll just show you that part. Then to return down, I bring my knees to my elbows to my knees. I come down and then I bring my knees down. I pull myself back and I make sure I'm not dizzy. I make sure that my neck is okay. And then I press again into downward facing dog. I really pull my arms back. I stretch my arms and I just perhaps do a little prancing in place, walking the dog, and that is a counter pose. Now, what I suggest is that you put this next to a wall so that you're safe and secure, because we're all a little bit, except for gymnasts or people that might be divers, most of us are a little bit scared of going up, down onto our heads with our feet up in the air and feeling that our hands have become our feet. In this case, it's your elbows that are also part of your feet. You're like maybe a creature that supports more weight on the whole lower arm area. So now I'm going to show it to you again, but I'm going to vary a little bit the position of my legs. This is after I've practiced many, many times and I feel very comfortable. I've done it at the wall, then maybe I try and take it away from the wall as I have now. And this is the next stage of practice. Same way of starting, my feet are back. I always do a little bit of warm up. You want to get your legs feeling comfortable, and everything coordinated. So I bring my knees down. I tuck my head. I get my shoulders so that they're close to the edge of the neck hold. And it's very important that my neck is not too close, but close enough. My shoulders, I have to take weight off of my shoulders with my hands. Here we go. Up, I balance, I drop my head when I balance. Now again, I try this. If I were to wall, I would be letting my feet rest against the wall. Now, the first one that I like to practice is bringing my feet together. So this is called Baddha Konasana. So I headstand with bound pose. The next one I like to try is tree pose. I can do it at my calf. I prefer to do it above my knee. The third thing I like to practice is Baddha Konasana, and then I go out with my legs wide. I can bring them in, and then I can come down. I unfold myself. I push to my legs in downward facing dog. I have found this extremely satisfying. I am an older person, as I mentioned, who does not want to put stress on my neck, on my bones, especially of my neck. Those 7 vertebrae in my neck are very fragile as you get older. And so by doing this, I strengthen my shoulders, but I'm also strengthening all the muscles that hold my head on, front, back, shoulders, arms. And I'm also strengthening my core. Now I would like to just bring up some real things. As I say, whether you're young, middle-aged, or older as I am, you want to make sure that you're always safe. So first of all, if you have any neck issues at all, I would check with your doctor or your chiropractor or your physical therapist, and I would just make sure that this is safe for you to do. As I said, I learned that I had advanced deterioration of my cervicals, and yet I loved headstand, but I knew that my bones were vulnerable. So I decided to find a way of doing headstands without putting the pressure on those cervicals. What's happened, I've been doing this a long time now, a good 10 or more years, is I've strengthened all my shoulder muscles, my arms, and I've strengthened all those many muscles that go up to your head. Headstand is wonderful because it brings a lot of blood flow to your brain, but you must be cautious about how you go about doing it. So I would suggest if you have a friend or someone that's capable of, even not a friend, someone that's capable of watching you and standing beside you and helping you if you need to just have someone stand beside you at a wall. And I find with my students, some of them have to just go down and try the kneeling position for several times to get over their fear. And then picking one leg at a time up so that you practice what it feels like to have your legs above your head. So that's the first thing. Check it out with the doctor, make sure you're a candidate for doing this. And then when you are, have a friend to help you, and then start your wall. Only come away from the wall when you feel very confident, which I promise you will happen sooner than you think. I was scared at first too. And now it's just such a joy to be upside down and to feel the youthfulness that engenders, and also just the joy of feeling like a kid again, to feel like, oh, I remember doing this when I was 8. So here I am, much older than 8, and still enjoying the benefits.